One thing I'll mention as I get started today is it's always important to know what's under the ground in your area. Our property was primarily just completely raw when we got in, so all the buried electrical, all the buried water, everything else, I know where it is. On the other side of here, I do have electrical ran to the shipping container. It's just not on yet, but I'll probably rig up some lights and some other stuff eventually so I can work out here after dark and use power tools that are corded, so that'll be good stuff. But there is stuff running under the ground through here, which is one reason I was thinking of running the roof this far here and then stepping it back a couple feet and only running it this far here. So from way out there to over here. But it's going to make most sense for me just to have the roof be uniform, especially because I'm doing water catchment. But on the ground here, there's stuff underneath, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put an above ground center post in line with everything. So in line with where those other ones are, and in line with the edge of this, I'm just going to put an above ground center post. And one of the problems out here in the Ozarks is not necessarily that the buildings collapse because of weight, but that they get blown up and blown away. One reason I wanted that secured really good, thankfully that's the west side. Most of the wind comes from the west, so if it's secured really good there, that's a giant wind block too. Not a lot of catch, especially with that cap I'm putting over the end. The north, which is this way, is the other main one a lot of wind will come through. We have a very, narrow opening here, and I'm also going to hang some stuff from like the roofs up there. That'll be storage for a lot of this longer stuff. So these longer thin guys will all be shoved up in little cubbies. It'll just kind of drop down like a U, from the top, and I'll stuff those holes full. So that's going to add some weight to it. And I'm going to do it probably right next to my poles rather than in the center of stuff. If you do it in the middle of stuff, then you're adding weight to those cross beams. Not as good. If you put it right next to your supports, they'll help support. That's what they're there for. So I'm going to drop that thing here, keep it above the ground, and I may even rock and mortar around it a little bit just to add an extra, beefy at the bottom, but that's not going to be an immediate thing. I've got a cedar that'll work for this, I think. And that's one thing too with this project, like obviously I got a lot of free sources, like almost all that stuff was completely free. I had to invest time, money, effort, gas, drive time, stuff like that. But a while ago I went to the hardware store and I was going to pick up some 4x4s, and I think it was an 8-foot 4x4. It was 25 bucks, and I go, 25 bucks, and I'm like, boy, it cost me a couple $100 to do what I want. And I go, I'll go home and cut cedar. Not everyone wants to build that way. We burn the bottoms, strip the bark off, do some other things, but it works for us and much more cost effective, and I really don't need the cedars around my property anyway. So if I can turn them into something good, then I will. First off, I knew that propane tank was running out. I just wanted to use up the rest of it. Can see how much better it worked once I hooked that second one up. Because we got ground contact on that guy, I just wanted it real nice and charred up, regardless of what I may or may not do with it in the future. So right now I've got a bunch of stuff kind of spliced in place. That cedar there is being held up by a couple different boards. Same thing with this 2x4 here. And I'm gonna run a 10-footer, 2x6 on the back side of there, heading that way. And then I'm gonna run a 14-footer that'll connect the end of this with the cedar. Once I get that in place and set up, I should be able to go up there, finish them, run them all the way. And once all the rafters are up, we'll move on. Obviously I did rather well up until this point with all that, but once I kind of ran out of rafters, my purlins were limited. I could put one more row of metal on, I ran out of daylight. But there we go, and then I'll cut that thing off. It's a very tall tree right now, but it's bottom heavy for sure, which will help it stay at ground level, as I mentioned, with the wind. So I've got this one out now, which will allow me to run my rafters all the way out. I did insert a 4x4 that came from a recent freesource mother load I had, and it just happened to be the right height, and it even had a notch at the top so that board can rest on it. That's temporary just because I want a consistency here. So what I'll end up doing is I'll end up cutting down a cedar and making a replacement for that. And I'll leave that in place, put the replacement in next to it, and then remove that one. It's only held in place by 2 screws, but the downward pressure will be able to support that for now. The only other cedars I have on hand are designated for other projects. So I'll go cut a new one, and then also have that on top of the ground level, much like my last one there. So now we're ready for rafters, which is a tedious task. But let's get back up there and do it.
Well, Mama was still sleeping today. I made some bread, and she doesn't know about it yet.
Where do you got bread hidden?
It's gonna rise in the pans in the oven right now.
Cool. So as long as she doesn't cook anything or preheat the oven, we're good, huh?
Yep. And then it's only gonna rise for a little while, and then I'll be able to bake it, and then I'll surprise her with it.
That's awesome, child. Fist bump. Way to be. Surprising Mama with fresh homemade bread. And you're how old now?
11.
11. I love it when kids, don't you love it when kids do stuff like that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Progress is progress. I got all the sandwich boards and the spacers here. I think I'm gonna run the spacers there next, and then I'll put on the end board and then the two top boards. And then I'll run all the purlins, I think. And once that's done, I'll just roof this thing. Well, my spacers are now in on that side. So I'm gonna run out my boards here and then get them purlins done. I was bending a lot of the nails too. I'm kind of fatigued, but I want to get this done while I can. Although, you know, that's one nice thing about working up here, kind of alone on top of my shipping container. If I was working the job today, you know, I wouldn't be able to go around other employees. I'd have to stay home sick. And not that I can't rest up and get better. I'm not trying to overdo it, but I'm trying to do it. And there are the end boards. I'll trim them to length when I get there. Looks like I got a couple more hours to work on this today before the sun sets. I had planned on running to town. Then I realized it's Christmas Eve and a lot of places that I would normally go ain't gonna be open. So I'll have to adjust my schedule and I guess wait for Monday. But that allows me to carry on the purlins and maybe even continue with the metal. Either way, I'm excited. Let's get this going. Happy birthday! Are you one? You say one? Hey, one. You look like a 1-year-old and you're happy about it? Oh yeah? Doot, 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 doot. Fist bump for your birthday. Thanks, buddy. You do me a point? You do me a 1 point? Woo! Oh. Yeah, you feel like a 1-year-old. Oh, did you sleep well? You look tired, my son. You look tired but happy. Good morning. And you're a little bundle of joy in the morning, aren't you? You always wake up with your sweetness and say good morning? Yeah? You give me a fist bump for your brother's birthday? Whoa! Ow! Ow! You do that one? Good, buddy. He did stick out his tongue at me. Thank you. Yeah, chili pepper is one today. Woke up early. Spent a little time out in the woods trying to hunt. That was unsuccessful, but I'm going to try to see what I can get knocked out here today before we do anything special. Got a small trip maybe planned for his birthday, and actually a year ago today we would have gotten a special dog that I've been meaning to make a video on. Maybe that'll be our next video, but I'm gonna see what I can get out here first today. It's closing in. It won't be that long now, but I ain't done yet. Look at it. Yeah, I'll get some more purlins and put the metal on, right? Let's do this.
Oh man, today is a happy day for my people. Yes, 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 it's Chili Pepper's first birthday. But look at that. They are all up. And I ran them long on the end because when I put that last sheet up, I'll determine how far I'm gonna go. And then I'll cut everything just flush or just underneath, and I'll end up trying to cap that too. But this is awesome, guys. I started on Monday, today is Sunday. I took Saturday off, so this is a 6-day project for me. Granted, I wasn't able to focus every day, all day, just on this, and a lot of it's been a one-man show. I've had some great helpers. But these are up now, and we're just gonna continue that. So I'm gonna see how many of these I can run today. It looks like I got one tall guy. That cedar will have to be trimmed down below level. You can see him. And there's just a couple on the end too, besides that end, on this edge. See that one guy there? He's sticking way out. Because that was, again, I had a 4-year-old helping me measure, so I had 2 boards that were kind of long, and that's fine. Look at that. And they're not 100% perfect because some of the boards were warped or stuff. Like if you look, center screen, but it's going to serve the purpose. It's going to be great. Oh, this is so awesome. And I got the middle guys too. There's a row here that's in the middle and a row there that's in the middle to help support it part way through. There's only certain distances you're recommended to span. So you interrupt it a bit, put a center brace up. That helps. All right, let's get this metal on. If I finish up what I'm working on, I've got like maybe 14 or 12 left, but look at what just happened. And why is there 2? Is somebody coming up here with me?
Breakfast for 2, Papa.
Breakfast for 2, darling. That's a pink lemonade, magnesium calm type thing. Look at this lady. Is that your fermented stuff on top of there?
Yes.
Darlene. Can you fit through there? If you get trapped, I can cut it out and put it back together later.
Yeah,
darling, look what I did. Do you see that?
It's looking really good there, Papa.
So I think I only got about a dozen left. Do you need a hand? Darling.
Yeah, I think I do. This is already put on.
Oh, my lady. Darling.
Can I get a hand? I'm a little nervous. I got one foot.
Yep, no problem.
Hold me tight.
I've got you.
Oh.
You're
a little
so
tighter,
good.
a little tighter.
Yeah.
Pull me. Oh.
Do you want to sit on the bucket or you want to just sit on the edge of here?
Just right here is fine.
Okay. Wow, my lady. So here's the thing. Wake up in the morning early. Go sit in the woods for a couple hours. Well, not even a couple hours. For a while. No deer. Have a little coffee. Put out a YouTube video about us trying those bean boozled crazy beans again, and then just get up here and start working. I haven't really ate today, haven't really drank today, just concentrating on getting this done because soon we're heading for a trip for little Chili Pepper's birthday, right?
That's right.
So boy, she knows that. She wants to go, but she also, you know, knows I have to eat. Spends all that time preparing this wonderful stuff for us to enjoy together, and lets me get all this extra work done. I mean, seriously, there's a dozen probably left. And this is done in Darlin. I'm gonna watch this thing just get cleaned up so awesomely.
I can't wait to see that, Papa.
It's gonna be amazing.
You have your vitamins too.
All right, open up your mouth and vitamin.
Vitamin C.
That's why they call them vitamins. And vitamin.
Regular vitamins, and then these ones are the
turmeric?
Turmeric and
Good.
something else.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna pray and eat, and we'll see what we knock out. I think I can do this today. Well, it is birthday time. We'll see. I think I can get back and finish it today. I gotta get my Sawzall out of there, take this down, and we'll be good to go. Honestly, the town was fun. Little guy's birthday was fun. We went to the park. He had a good time. Kids had a good time. Mom had a good time. I had a good time. And we're the type of parents who will play with the kids rather than sit down on a bench and watch them. So wound up playing with a number of other kids too, which is nice, you know. Just make sure we had a green light from some of the other, you know, parents, 'cause you don't always want to be grabbing other people's kids, but they did. So we played with some other kids too, and that means I got just a little bit of daylight today. Could I get these last like 11 or so sheets on today? Absolutely I could, but I do not need to. After I get those 11 on, I've got to caulk all the holes and, you know, silicone all the nail holes, screw holes. I still got to gutter this thing. I got to put some end caps on. There's a lot more to it other than just having the metal on top of the wood and having the wood done. It's going to be tomorrow, and then I'm going to get back to welding some other projects. You know, when I was getting all these free sources, the worst thing that happened was I cut open my head here, my nose there, my nose here, smashed things up. And this time, it was not just me smashing my head into something, it was this Sawzall. Yeah. The Sawzall got me right in the finger. Not that bad, you know, I still got flexibility. I guess it looks worse if you do that, right? I cut myself with a Sawzall. Use that for the, whatchamacallit, the image, and then more people will watch it. And then when they find out that, you know, you just happen to bend it back at that moment, they're gonna be angry at you for not actually cutting off your finger. Maybe I should just do that. I cut myself, my hand with a Sawzall. But if that's the worst that I suffer this whole time, that's going to be great. I think I got my metal up. I just got to get it on. But I've got a little bit of daylight left today. Gun season reopened up this morning. I was unsuccessful this morning, but I think I'm going to head out there now and see if I can drop something. I get one more deer in my season, in my zone. So I don't think I'll be anywhere outside of my zone to get, you know, 2 more deer. So I might as well get that last one I can get here and go from there. And I think we got a special dog video to make. So we'll be making that, I think, tomorrow. Maybe it'll be the next video we put out. I know some people have been waiting for it for a long time. Ran into some folks we know up in St. Louis area and said, hey, what type of videos do you enjoy? And I said, well, how about if you make that dog video? We said, okay. Okay, so yeah, the worst of it so far. That, I hope that's it. Didn't cut, you know, too much, just bled quite a bit. I just put pressure on it and called for the kids. I'm like, kids, which thankfully they take pretty good care of me. So we'll see you next time. This is priority number 2. It is doing great. And then I'll only have one of my top 3 priorities left, which is the root cellar and outdoor kitchen. We're really closing in on that. So I know some people are like, didn't you take years to do that? Yes. And because I did, it's going to be a lot better than if we would have just done it all right away. We'll see you next time. Papa out.